Right, all right. Hey, hey. All right, Geminis, before we jump on into this storytelling, let me just say you guys got shortchanged on Sunday, and then I also tried to get to you last night, and my coughing got started up, and I just couldn't. But there is another weird twist to all this. I did a Scorpio video that I started out by saying, "Hi, Geminis, we're going to get into a Gemini story." And then in the middle of it, I started talking about Scorpio. By the end of that film, I thought it was a Scorpio video. So I titled it as Scorpio, when in fact, it is a weird Gemini Scorpio hybrid video. I am going to make sure, and I put the title so that it's slash Gemini Scorpio. I'm going to make sure that that gets linked at the end of this so you can check that one out. But the thing is, I don't know if there's a Scorpio Gemini vibe, going on, but there is a song by Young Fathers called Picking You. And in it, one of the lines, and this is the only time I've ever heard a line like this, he says, oh, why do I always end up with Scorpios or Geminis? See, I don't want to adios to get close. So obviously, that song's in my head. We got some weird merging, and this is kind of wild. This is like, Kate, do not merge those two. But look, there's two halves on this. We've got an Ace of Pentacles. Okay, Gemini, all day Gemini. This is a Gemini video. But for this full moon, which is tomorrow, by the way, the 12th, it is the snow moon, and full moons are great for bringing things to the surface anyway, bring things from the subconscious and bring them to light. So we're going to keep that in mind as we talk about this and say, so what is it that's maybe being brought more into the light? And we have a new beginning, but this new beginning says we either have to split it in half and leave, part of, what happened before in, the past, and then just start new. However, is it really possible to leave anything that helps shape us into who we are today? Can we really leave that in the past? I don't know. This says we're still looking at both halves of it. So I don't know if this is like a great way to say, hey, I'm making peace with something and saying, this did happen, but it's not going to happen again. I've put up a boundary around it, but I'm actually still okay with it. Or this could be like agreeing to disagree with somebody and still making a connection work, because we're both still part of the same whole, but we are definitely on separate sides, but that's okay. This is really seeing like a turned on its side, one of the big drums, and it's like one of the heartbeat drums. So I'm thinking that this has to do with something in the matter of heart. And I would say that is right now, that is what Venus looks like. It is so bright in the night sky. And so I'm wondering if maybe with this Ace of Sacred Circles, if we aren't looking at matters of the heart and love. This Nine of Sacred Circles, so Nine of Pentacles, we've got the star here, and it's coming up 3 times, once on the amulet that she wears, once on the rattle, and once on the drum skin that hangs on the wall behind her. And I always look at that as like somebody who's like knowing what their innermost guidance system says, knowing how they want to interact with the world around them, and then knowing how to connect with the universe. She's got a massive messenger that sits with her. I have to say, this right now is feeling like we may have a Gemini who is saying, I am beginning things all over again. And this could be, I'm going to bring somebody back into my life, but I am not codependent. I am not bringing them in because I need them. I am bringing them in because I want them, because they are a nice, complement to my already fabulous life. This feels like somebody who's very much powerful in their own personal identity. Okay, we do have the devil. Is that what we're seeing then? Do we have a character? Do we have a Gemini who says, I already know what it's like to be codependent, and that's why I'm not that. I know the difference. I know the warning signs. I know how not to deal with somebody if we're not going to be able to have success. I know what battles not to fight. I know how to bring in the right partner for me because I've been with the wrong partner before. That's a little bit of what that's looking like. We got a 4 of Swords, and if you notice, she's like carrying all of this sand in her kimono, and she's like dropping it and leaving it in the temple. I'm going to say that quite possibly Gemini had quite a lesson that they're realizing they learned, and they are so much better for it. They learned what it feels like to carry, that big, heavy, laden energy. Because, if we get into an argument with somebody that we love, and it's like, I can't have success with them, but I'm also struggling to let them go. It's like we lug around, well, sand, and it's hard to heal. I think this is like, I'm ready to actually talk this out with somebody. I know that the conversation can go differently now. I know that I can communicate to somebody better than I ever used to because I'm feeling really whole. If I'm going to give somebody a second chance, if I'm going to heal something, or if I'm going to pick somebody altogether new, I'm going to choose for me first, last, and always now. Basically, what I think this is it's a healthy kind of self-love is what Gemini has learned. And that is allowing them to be either very generous with, yeah, I'd like to talk to that person again. This time around, I'm not going to be triggered by them because, if I determine that we really can't get things on the same page, that's okay. I don't have to hate them to say, well, I did love them once, but, we're just not on the same page. They were still a part of my experience, and I'm glad for that. Or if I can heal things with them, I can say, yeah, but I won't ever lose myself to the connection or, get into a toxic battle with them again because I feel so much more empowered now. I feel so much more whole. I know that these are my choices, and I'm not really waiting for somebody else to react or give me what I want. If I'm not getting what I want, I'll go someplace else. It just feels very matter of fact. I can't see yet. Is this a situation where Gemini is actually making peace with letting go of somebody, or are they saying, I don't know, I might patch things up with them? Okay, it's about reconnecting to a soulmate, but this time is not going to be like last time. This is like, I accept that they are important to me. We've got a 6 of Cups, and this is a pretty rare connection, right? Because we've got white tigers there. I accept that, yeah, I do still want to talk to this person. And yeah, they do still want to talk to me, but we're not going to have a toxic mess like last time. 10 of Cups. In fact, there is so much hope for this connection because this time around, it would be well, let's put it this way. On Gemini's side, it could be successful because Gemini is very whole on their own. If they choose to connect with this person, it will be, to like show their emotion to this person, but it won't be because they're like desperate for this person. And I'm not saying that they were in the past, but there is definitely a tension that is no longer there because Gemini is coming across really comfortable at this point. Okay, can I see who are they? We've got an Ace of Swords, we got the 9 of Wands, and they're both sideways. They're somebody who didn't always speak their truth. They are somebody who didn't, I don't think, ever really want to let go of Gemini either with what we see here. They are somebody who would maybe rather have peace. You see all of the amethyst crystal. They'd maybe rather make peace with Gemini, but haven't quite known how to do it. They definitely would rather have peace, but it almost seems like they haven't known what words to start with. Nurture of Swords. They could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius as well, or this could be just them seeing Gemini and saying, Gemini is so straightforward. They always say exactly what they mean. They have such great command of their vocabulary. They're so good at saying things, but they're also good at leaving me. We got the Chariot. They really, I think that they think very highly of Gemini, but at the same time, it's like, I think they believe Gemini has better command of their emotions and their vocabulary. What about them? Hang on. How would you describe yourself, character? Because I see them thinking a lot about Gemini, but I don't see them, oh God, they want to be married to Gemini. They think that Gemini is their other half, or they are married to Gemini. Taurus energy, they feel like, wow, they want to be committed. They may be the one where if this were a serious relationship, no matter what, no matter how toxic it gets, they're still like, but we stay together no matter what. And Gemini's over here going, no, we need to get things to work out well. We're not going to do a toxic foundation. We could be very happy together and then we'll be good together. But there is something here where I think Gemini and this person have had a deep connection already in this storyline. And they have never wanted to not have Gemini. In this story, this is somebody, come on, we just got the Hierophant and the Three of Pentacles. They have always wanted Gemini. 10 of Pentacles sideways. But they may not have been very good about making sure Gemini's needs were being met. That could have been part of the problem. 8 of Swords and the Fool card sideways. Either they weren't good, maybe Gemini and this person had similar tendency to overgive and not address what their needs were. I could see that being part of this story. Like they didn't know how to advocate for what they really needed. They didn't know how to say what their wants were, where they're, because this almost says that they too were kind of tongue-tied. They too were a little bit stuck, but they've always wanted to be with Gemini. Gemini sees this as, we could be so happy together. I really feel like this is a relationship between two people who want to be together, but things just got wonky for a while. Things just got toxic, and it was because neither one of them was really actually putting themselves, first into saying I love you. These are the things that I love that you do. These are the things that I also need for my own self. Gemini is going to start practicing some good self-love here. Maybe this person needs to do it too. It could simply be that, how do you, it's great and romantic to think of being in this perfect connection where we spend all of our time together and we're always each other's best friends. But in reality, everybody still has to eat their own food, get their own hours of sleep for their own body. No matter how harmonious we are as a duo, there are still things that we can't do for each other. I can't breathe for my partner. I can't eat for my partner. There are things that we recognize that we are not actually one relationship blob. We are two separate individuals who have things that we have to do, hobbies, interests, things like that. And it doesn't mean that these two have to be together but live separate lives. It's more I think neither one was getting what they really needed that would help de-stress them and keep their lives really enjoyable. If maybe Gemini is super interested in things like tarot cards and they really want to, spend some time and learn about this or that. And maybe this other partner is I haven't gone hiking in such a long time because we always spend all of our time together, but actually it's kind of stressful because we're trying to find things to do when in fact we also need to still be who we are. Our own identities matter also. So this is it almost feels very much like a relationship where two people really care about each other, but can't we do different things sometimes too? And that explains that first card beautifully. Maybe this is so fitting considering I had the Scorpio Gemini merged video where I've never done that before. That was so crazy. Anyway, you guys, I'll make sure that comes up on the screen probably right about now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being patient with me. Also, Geminis, really appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for now.